All right. Um, I'm trying to lubricate my vocal cords, and I'm not using that word to be funny. That's really what I'm doing. I don't know. I just I feel like I have something stuck in my throat, but I can't get rid of it. So I'm gonna go live anyway and suffer the consequences, or maybe just talk a little bit less. Even though if you've been watching my stream for any length of time, I'm not a big fan of not talking. Okay, let's try 6 10 6. Okay. So these are the pre F8 BIOS postcodes and the post F1/F2 postcodes. It's an important distinction. You wouldn't think it for a platform that really sort of, in my mind, didn't last all that long. But I had the F2 BIOS on this before, and it liked to just sit on 5.5 and then do stuff and then sit on 5.5 again. And so the last BIOS revision that came out was the Carrizo, which is in gigabyte terms F8A on all the boards that I have here, at least. And instead of sitting on 55, that sits on 15. As my monitor is not working, which just not very useful. It reminds me a little bit too much of AM5, which loves to sit on 15 as well. Okay, let's start a run, and then I can maybe have a bit of story time. I apologize in advance if I have to clear my throat at various points. Just mute the stream or forgive me for it, I suppose. I thought this peppermint tea was going to help, which is very tasty. I mean, I have no regrets, but it's not really helping clear up my throat as much as I thought it might. How's everyone doing, by the way? Hey, Mikey. Yeah, I sound pretty raspy, but yeah, it's just mostly like, do you ever have that feeling like there's like different there's different levels of having something stuck in your throat? Like there's the really serious level where you actually need the Heimlich maneuver, and there's no messing around with it. I'm not quite there. Then there's just the oh, let me just clear my throat once and it goes away level. And this is something in the middle where it's like, I feel like it should be I should be able to clear it by clearing my throat, but I actually am not. I've been doing this for like half an hour. It's not gone away, and there isn't really all that much else you can do, right? Like cough, try to clear your throat, drink something warm, which I just did, or hot, like that sort of loosens it up, right? Like, and I'm just gonna try and focus on benching instead. I think that's a good policy. Just forget about it, and it'll go away overnight, right? That's the theory, right? Let's just quickly reference my previous run. I'm not saying in any shape or form that this is a good run, but it was just a baseline I threw together earlier. But that was 7-11-7, so I'm now going to try a 6-10-6 PSC, if that's not obvious. And we were at 116. Let's literally just match 116 and see how that goes. So something that people are probably kind of aware of is the DDR3 memory tab bugs in recent versions of CPU-Z. But just to let you know, to get correct, even on FM2, to get correct North Bridge and correct timings and speed, I'm just using 1.90. That's what I had lying around, but here's a recent version, what it looks like. Obviously, I'm not running CAS 2. That's ridiculous. I'm also not running 460 Encore. That just doesn't make any sense. So I was at 116.43. I'm not gonna change the VCore. 116.43. I'm not messing with the turbo ratio. That's actually disabled in BIOS. It was like 116 point something, so there's no fractionals, but sometimes it just depends on how the clock gen drifts. So we actually want 5G runs, so we want 117 stat, even though it's it's under 116.5 in CPU-Z for some reason, but that's fine. So we have it on all the cores. I'll set affinity to the second module. I haven't tested dual core versus single core affinity, but I feel like second module first core should have okay speed, basically, affinity, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I have two mascots now. I've got the MSI dragon in the background here, and I've got the green alien. Lots of good fortune. Good luck being spread with these mascots. Okay, that looks okay. 125 16K is good, is expected, and I'll just start a timer as well. What else could I do? So I could do like lozenges, like some sort of Ricola type thing. I don't know to what degree that would help. Nearly missed it. Well, it's only just started, so you actually didn't miss anything. Oh, it's a hang. It's certainly a hang. Interesting. I need to make good use of my mute button. This time I didn't, but so you've got an FM1 board, Vinster, with 3870K. Okay, you swap the RAM. That's a good choice. What's with the run? What's with that? Oh, did I forget bulldozer conditioner or something? Was there something? Is there just something weird that that's happening there? Is the RAM drive fucked? Are my clocks down? Maybe I need to set via PS check. That might be a safer way to maintain clocks. Why is it so slow? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go PS check. Let's disable these weird PB power states. Those might be interfering under load. So let's just go P1, P0. It's all fine. Let's actually drop the first set of cores. Okay, now we've reapplied clocks to the second module. Make sure that it doesn't drop on exit. Okay, double check, still 5G, that's good. Keep taskman open. Fresh copy of SuperPi. Yeah, I think that might be the goal. Maybe every 15 minutes I'll just briefly mute and just cough my lungs out. That might be the way to go. Okay, Clock Explorer, close CPU-Z. Double check priority and affinity. Okay, so we'll just slow runs. Oh, I didn't check bulldozer conditioner. That's really important, guys, for FM2 and AM3 Plus. Smoking. I haven't smoked. I had a cigar at my birthday, actually. So I haven't smoked in 3 months. And the only thing I smoked at that occasion was a single cigar. So I should be good. It's not smoking related. Pretty sure. Alright, let's restart our timer. The initial should be 9 seconds. I don't know why it's so slow. That seems like a good deal, Linster, though. I don't get it. Yeah, I have seasonal allergies as well. So maybe that's sort of playing into it. I mean, typically hay fever is more of a nose than a throat thing for me, but people do get like hay fever coughs and things and swollen throat, so that could be a factor. Okay, there's something weird going on here, so just to eliminate some variables, I'm gonna run a non-RAM disked run. What's with all this weird slowness? This wasn't happening earlier today. And this is the same OS and the same board and the same chip and the same RAM and the same BIOS. While that's loading, where is that mute button? It's still loading. Okay, here we go. Is it accidentally, like, is it... Okay, let me do dual core affinity on the second module. It's just odd. What's with, where's the second instance of... Oh, there's still a SuperPi running in the background. What the fuck? Alright, let's try this again. Let's kill all SuperPis. Let's start a non-RAM disked SuperPi. Let's check mem usage. Kill Explorer. Wait for it to drop off. Check my RAM utilization here. See what's all this CPU activity? You see how there's a quad core load somewhere. What the hell? I don't get it. It's sort of dropping off. But I didn't set affinity and priority. Yeah, let's just do this. See what happens there. Because the 16Ks are fast. Oh yeah, that seems better now. Okay, the fans are spinning up better than the previous run, but it's still slow. What is this? Do I need to re-image before I've done a single run? Okay, let's just give it a reboot. Yeah, what can I do? It's almost like it's closing network connections. There are no network connections. Do I need to flash back to F2? F2 actually worked fine. This is the F7 BIOS. F2 had worse RAM clocking though. I kind of want a clean reboot, but it seems like it's hung on shutdown again. Yeah, let's hit the button. Kind of like this postcode placement. 150 BCLK is alright. On FM1. It's nothing to sneeze at. Strange. Strange. Maybe the US is fucked. I'll double check single and dual channel, and I'll check maximum as well. Few strange things that have happened. For the first time in the 7 years that I've used OBS, I tried to open it and it said it couldn't open, and it's like, I haven't changed anything. Yeah, dogpile, of course. That's the whole point of dogpile. Okay, the OS is non-responsive again. Okay, let's do a really safe run. Let's do enable BDC. In sympathy, yeah, maybe. Let's not mess with easy tune at all, actually, and just PS check up to the appropriate CPU multi. No, what's with the... Wow, how's that grayed out? I never even... What's a grayed out cog? I've never come across that. Okay. Let's go low. So there's 4.1. Three. Okay, let's go higher. 4.8. Okay, one more multi. 4.9. That'll do. We just need a, you know, like a proof of concept type thing. Okay. It should have spat out a loop already. What is this bullshit? Okay, I have absolutely no patience for this now. This is just... I just can't remember a 32M XP fucking itself this hard ever before, really. Like, what is going on there? Yeah, I'll copy the pitiful run I had on there and keep it around for posterity. And I'll reimage. I disabled disk checking because it would keep loop. Disk checking wouldn't ever actually be finished disk checking. It would just go, hey, both of your drives need to be disk checked. And then you disk check both of them and it would reboot and go, hey, both of your drives need to be disk checked. So I was like, well, this is bullshit. Let me permanently disable disk checking. And now it's that obviously fucked 32M efficiency somehow. Okay, restore has completed. How are the temps? I mean, the whatever, there's paste on there and there's 2 fans spinning. That's the temps. They're fine. So yeah, I thought I'd take a break from TC for this stream. There's your temps, 36 degrees. While that's booting, I'll get some water. There you go, there's that disk checking that's gonna keep looping now. I'll have to cancel it every boot from now on, but I guess I can't disable it because it might fuck my 32M completely. I was gonna say efficiency, but at the point where your first initial goes from being a 9-second run to being a 50-second run, there's no efficiency to be talked about anymore. It's just... yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Now this is certainly going to be harder than the other 2 platforms I just took gold on this week, which were FM1 and Trinity, which this is Richmond. Yeah, I hate that screen as well. It's like a mini form of PTSD seeing that screen. It's got to cancel it every time. And how am I suddenly tired? Your body really does play tricks on you. It's like, hey, yeah, of course, it's really early. There you go. Managed to circumvent it. It's only 8 p.m. I mean, what am I, 90 years old? Come on, Parika OS, you can do it. Okay. I should try without Bulldozer Conditioner. Maybe that needs to reinstall or something. Okay. Let's rebuild. Oh. Weird. After all that boot took forever. It just randomly hung after a PS check bug. Okay, I'll set multi in. Okay, I'm learning my lesson. I'm setting multi in easy tune. So earlier today, I was sort of planning a trip to Osaka. Not specifically a trip to Osaka, to be fair. A extended stopover on the way back from somewhere else. Yes, you want a disc check, I know. You're never gonna get the opportunity to because it doesn't do anything. Yay. See, I just had to look away for a minute and then the OS actually booted. Okay, so no PS check. There we go, the magic 5G. I'm not even going to set affinity and priority. Let's just see what happens. Not even going to kill Explorer. It should be like a 12-second first initial, regardless. What is that? I just re-imaged the OS. Like, what does it want me to do? This is SuperPi. SuperPi is supposed to just work. Maybe I'm backing up the wrong tree and it's some weird form of instability that I should combat by changing the timings again or whatever. Is it even really, is it at least gonna restart cleanly? Weird. Okay, well, next thing will be I mean, it's not the OS, it just can't be, but it's just, I feel like that's a weird thing for an overclock to do, to have a SuperPi crash in exactly that way. Yeah, let's go back to I mean, I barely have any timings set to begin with. It's like, oh, well, I need to loosen my timings. Well, they're not even tied to begin with. And okay, 28 RAS is super loose. Let's just to make a point, let's go 24 as well. I mean, that's just absolute play school, but let's see. So what's everyone else belching? I'm hovering. I have heard it said before actually that you should never cancel a disc check because it's bad luck. Maybe that's what's wrong. But previously I had it permanently disabled. So what, you need to have it run through fully? That doesn't make any sense because it's going to loop forever. Okay, what else can I even do? I will try without BDC. It should still be like a 15-second first loop. So there's the loosened timings. Go through all benchmarks. Hopefully iGPU as well, right? What's with the fucking hourglass? I don't even have real time set. I could imagine some wonkiness like this on real time, but this is normal priority. What is this bench doing? And you know what? That's it. I'm gonna run a bone stock frequency RAM OS priority affinity, no BDC, just bone stock everything run and see what happens. It should still be faster than what it's running at currently. Nice, easy gold. I love those. Optimize defaults, and the only thing I'm changing is native ID. There you go, boom. We're literally going backwards. Other thing would be maybe the new BIOS really did fuck things up. Who knows? So let's check the fastest 32M on this board and see what BIOS it's using. There is only 132M, that's concerning. And it doesn't show BIOS. We may literally have to flash through all the versions until we get to a good one. Let me preemptively download them. No, we don't want cheap viewers. We want expensive viewers, actually. Classy. Classy, expensive viewers. Now I don't even know, like, look at all the, yeah, look at all this. It's gonna be very interesting. Whoa, that is slow. I don't get it, guys. I actually fundamentally do not understand what's going on here. It's not crashed, right? It's just slow. Yeah, let's... Okay, let's BDC it. Is like the chip on the way out? Is like the chip degraded or something? I don't like... Okay, so there's the BDC bounce, like bump. It's sort of ringing a bell, but I don't remember under which Okay, so that's average. Like you want to like at clocks it's 9. So that's actually a legit first like init value. Okay, so non-BDC is very bad. Stock runs like stock. Let's wait for like 1 minute something loop. 1. Excuse me. Okay, 51 seconds. Okay, so that's a legit run. Still don't like the fact that it's... So that's... was it BDC or the RAM disk that actually made the difference though? Let's do a run outside of RAM disk. I'm intrigued now. No, that seems legit. But then let's slowly... So it's not... The good thing is not the BIOS. Like reflashing a BIOS is time consuming. So it's not the BIOS. Oh. is our disk really slow for some reason? So this is the non-RAM disk run now. BDC on. I think our disk read and write is really slow. Somehow. I'm not using a special port like SATA port or anything. I'm feeling like, oh, and you know, I was trying to Waza on this OS and it was really slow. I'm actually feeling like to get Waza going without it taking an age, I would actually have to install the SATA driver, which just seems dumb. Like, when's the last time you had to install a SATA driver to do 32M on XP? It just doesn't. It's not really a thing, is it? What's with the 50 megabyte? Oh, SBC host. Okay, well, let's see if priority and oh. So that was a lucky fast run, was it? Or was I on the wrong? Okay, let's just make sure that we're. Okay, so ERAM is the way to go. Okay, now let's make sure our Explorer Kill and Priority and Affinity aren't making it slower. Because you could have two things kind of on top of each other, both have it causing the same issues, and only if you avoid both. Oh, Priority and Affinity and Explorer Kill seem to fuck with it. Or is it just literally one run fast, one run slow kind of thing? Or did I launch the wrong SuperPi again? No, ERAM, right? I am morbidly fascinated with all this. Huh, okay, so that's shit. Okay. Okay, let's go back to no priority, no affinity, no Explorer Kill, ERAM. That is strange. Well, what I can do is I can circle back around to it. I can just take this as a given, like wow, 10, that's actually fast. The way that we're running 32M right now is no Explorer Kill, no priority, no affinity in ERAM, and that's how we get a fast run. And now I'll apply. Oh, maybe I should try to install the driver, but I'll apply. Oh yay, another viewbot. I'll apply the clocks again. Make sure those don't fuck with it. Alright, that takes care of that. Not safe, but load. I can probably just go straight to 117. Interesting conundrum. That almost didn't post. When you push too much B clock, it'll just keep looping 9A. And it went 9A 2 or 3 times there. I mean, I don't really feel as though Priority, Affinity, and Explorer Kill would necessarily do all that much anyway. morbidly fascinating, like I said. Well, at least I don't have to drop back to an old BIOS. That would have been pretty hardcore. Still somewhat limiting though, and especially bizarre considering that on this board, this BIOS, these sticks, this OS, just the previous gen, Trinity rather than Richland, everything was fine. I mean, maybe not. Maybe everything actually wasn't fine. Maybe I could have had a faster run, but you know, in terms of absolute disasters, there was none. So let's open our ERAM and then easy tune our way up along the SuperPi 32M ladder of success. So all we really need is ratio. Ratio is now set. Close this. Kill. Well, I'm not really allowed to kill anything, am I? Because it might fuck with the speed of the bench. Alright, let's just go. Ooh, that's slow. Oh, I did BDC. How is it slower now? I just applied a shit ton of clocks and it's slower. What on earth is happening? Okay. If it'll boot 43x, I'll actually set 43x in BIOS because maybe there's something funky going on with EasyTune. Oh, something funky going on with post now. Weird. Tweaks, I mean, FM1 tweaks, what are you... Oh, come on. What is this? Clear BIOS, please. And just behave, board. Like any other board will have a clear BIOS button and clear BIOS clears BIOS, but Gigabyte boards, they want to be touched in 3 different ways. You know, they want the 24-pin pull, they want the clear BIOS button pressed, and they want the CMOS battery to be pulled. Then they might think about clearing BIOS. You know, talking about clearing BIOS, the FM1 board I used for the 32M platform record still had LN2 volts applied from Team Cup 2017. I'd be pulling my hair out. I don't have much hair to pull out. Otherwise, maybe I would. Okay. Shouldn't it, when it's looping like this, do the the automatic fallback onto the other BIOS thing. Yeah, I think the chip might be degraded. I think that may answer some, a lot of our questions actually. Thankfully, I have other chips. So let's have a look. I mean, it sucks, but let's not let that get in the way of anything. Oh, I hate swapping chips though. 5800K, what's this? This is... Oh man. Oh, this is a 68. So it doesn't seem to be a RAM channel thing. Or a RAM stick thing. So I'm swapping chips. Thankfully I have my Noctua screwdriver right here, so it's not too painful. I mean, it's still painful, but not as painful as it could have been. I'm really running short of 6800Ks, but they also die at a rate at which I can't really... I wouldn't say that I can't afford to keep buying new ones, but I just don't want to afford buying new ones. Yeah, let's try something. Let's reseat the chip actually. As crazy as that sounds, it's worked for me before. Reseat the chip, reseat the sticks in a different order. Away we go. Alright, well that was a load of bullshit. What about this other chip? At least it doesn't have any bent pins, that's a good start. But it's dead, okay. Well, for the purposes of the stream, try to think. I have some equivalent Athlons here. Let's see. Athlon 760. It is 32 nanometer. Richland, okay. Well, You're not getting what's in the stream description, but it's the same chip with no iGPU, and we're not benching the iGPU, so it's close. Is the board fucked? What is going on? So that's kind of good news because it means my chip is all right. I'm starting to suspect that one of my chips might be a board killer, though, which is not. That is not good. So we want 14, 15 PNS, 6800K. There we go. So that's the chip that originally gave us the trouble. And we're going old school, baby. A85X UP4, not the 88, not the refresh board. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the memory. I've reseated it a couple of times. This was kind of the board I wanted to run today anyway, but I don't ever feel like, as solid of a board as it is, I don't ever feel like I would end up running it all out on LN2. So I'm hesitant to do air pre-testing on it because how relevant would those results? I mean, I'd gain experience, but if I were to do, I mean, I'll do it now just for the sake of the stream, but if I were in my own time to do extensive air pre-testing on this board, what would really kind of be the point of it? Because I wouldn't be running it cold. And different boards clock RAM differently and have different efficiency and have different peculiarities. So let's see how this goes. I'm curious. But I'm also apprehensive. Post right up. Fuck me. Okay, what do we even... So, in case you aren't aware, pretty much every gigabyte board, if you hit F9, you get this view. F4, I don't immediately know if that's new enough by us. I'm just checking the website. Bias. Indeed, it is the most recent bias on that board. So how does CPU support work? So there's no Carrizo support on here, but we do have Richland. So if I were to take this board all the way and attempt the record on it, that'd be fine, but I can't continue on to Carrizo on this. Just gonna attach the Noctua bracket so I can actually mount some sort of cooler on it. Yeah, interesting. I always look for the board in the wrong spot. Fuck ads. Oh look, it's Bilko. How you doing? Yeah, Twitch has changed. Also, fuck that board. Well, I started off on the A88X UP4, but I think I might have a board killer chip on my hands. It's degraded 2 boards today, I think. I don't know, it's so hard to know. I'm probably being silly even attempting to bench this chip further, but I don't really mind if it... well, it's good to have a copy of this board, but let's just see how it goes. I don't really know what's going on. This is very strange, but let's just see. Yeah, Twitch ads have gotten a lot worse. The way they're trying to push people to get around them is just sub to channels, and it is September, but I don't think I can in good conscience even tell you guys to sub just to get rid of ads. It's pointless. But there's a lot of them now, and streamers used to have a lot more ways. You could actually, the way I remember it being when I first started streaming was, so well, I started off not even being affiliate, so I don't think non-affiliates have ads. But when I became affiliate, I could just set an option in my profile saying I don't want ads. Or maybe just at the very start of the stream or something, like an extremely limited number of ads. But now you can't really do anything with them anymore. You have a pause button, but so you can kind of delay ads if there's something exciting happening. But it doesn't really do anything because it just means that you have to run a bigger ad block later or something. I haven't really looked into it all that much. Unstoppable force meets immovable mountain. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard that about this being a chip killer board, but all of my 68, well, I don't really know what's going on. I had a 6800K die earlier on just ambient while setting stuff in EasyTune. So I don't know if EasyTune bugged out or what. So today I haven't even done that much benching today, but I've had a chip die, and 2 boards going to some sort of weird state where I don't know if that's recoverable. Prime sub, easy fix. That's only if you have Amazon Prime. Shouldn't have smoked so much crack earlier today. Okay. No, don't do drugs, people. I'm just joking. I have a throat issue at the moment, and it's not related to smoking crack. But that's not to say smoking crap. Smoking crap is also bad for you. Smoking crack isn't bad for you. It is bad for you. I'm just not 100% on whether or not it would cause this kind of sore throat issue that I'm currently facing. Speak to your medical professional instead of your trusted streamer. Your trusted overclocking streamer. Alright, benching KB. I haven't benched KB Lake in a long ass time, and so that's the way I like it. So how's your satellite internet holding up, Bilko? No, you had problems watching Twitch with it because of the latency. So that's nice. An hour and 10 minutes into the stream, and I'm currently assembling the rig. That's what you call progress. Ugh. That should be enough. See, now the problem becomes, do I even have USB drivers on this OS and stuff for this board? Oh, you got a new satellite, nice. Hey, Exhaust. you joined just as I was talking about crack. That's good timing. Okay, let me try to get into... So the good thing is the BIOS looks very similar. All of that. 35. Disable CBP. Disable this one as well. Yeah, I'll leave that for a second. Go quick. 7, 11, 7, 28, 16, 2T, 1.85, 1.5, stream LSC, ID, disable this, disable that. So this. Oh my god. There's a lot going on with all these profiles. Okay. Just gonna wash the paste off my hands while that boots, or maybe it doesn't boot, who knows. Yeah, it's looking somewhat promising. I'm glad that at least the postcode display is in the exact same spot, in the exact same orientation on the PCB as on the other board. Hey, and I have USB, so I didn't have to adjust my camera. It's gonna give me the pop-up saying, do you want to reboot to make these changes effective? There you go, called it. Oh yes, it's back in the I want to disk check everything 100 times phase. So I just had to laugh because Twitch gives this new feature that allows you to knock on someone else's stream and do like an impromptu collaboration stream. But my friend streams Assetto Corsa simulation racing, which the overlap in viewership between someone who watches sim racing and someone who watches benching is, I mean, I'm sure it exists, but I just have trouble imagining a collab stream between those two. Like, what would it be? Like, I LN2 overclock the rig while he's racing a 24-hour sim racing race. Like, that's never gonna end well. Okay. I'm not convinced that all of our troubles are over, but let's just give it a go and see what happens. So that's applied. This is applied. We just need our ratio. There we go. Close that. Yay, we have a loop. After all these issues, we actually have a loop. Okay. I'm not gonna wait 15 minutes for it to finish though. I'm still curious if we can get affinity and priority to behave the way one would expect them to behave. Okay. This should work. This is what I did my last run on. See, what I'm suspicious of is this. Can I just kill that? Yeah, okay, there you go. That's actually nice. If it doesn't come back, that's a good lean OS. Which some of these things come back. Ooh, a 110. Now we're talking. I'll let it finish. If it does a 9-second first loop, I'll let it finish. If it finishes. Okay. Okay, now an hour and 18 minutes into the stream. Now we actually have our first run. Let's go back to 3870K. Vinster was asking about it. So this is what I ran earlier in the week. So I'd always wanted to take the 32M gold, but a pretty low priority on that because, okay, so second loop is good, 40 seconds, that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but it's just not totally and utterly fucked. So can I show you my old run? Yeah, so Had I ever... Oh. I thought I had a cold run. 16 seconds isn't a cold run. Had I never done... Oh, I'd never done a completed run because I'd always seen that my run was slower, but I had done loops on cold before. Yeah, let's go... Ooh, loud silence. Nay. Look at this lineup of people doing 32M on this platform. Okay, so single stage, single stage, single stage, cascade. Let's look at every single... Okay, even off... I don't know what's even off doing at 4G. That's an ambient clock. What's he doing at 4G? Is that like for comp? Okay, let's just every actual proper LN2 sub. Let's look at them. So DMOX, I'm not familiar. So this is Team Cup 2012. Interesting. Let me pull up my previous 32M run here just for comparison's sake. Maybe it's lost in time forever. I thought I'd pull it off the drive before I reimage it. Maybe not. DMOX still active apparently. Can't say I'm familiar with their work. A lot of old era stuff. Global points for DDR2 valid. I love it. I like their style. Okay. Well, I don't want to dwell too much. Let's just look at the run itself. Let's look at the rig picks as well. Oh, I have notes on my previous run though, so I can look at that. So previous run for comparison was okay. So we're faster. So previous run was 117 times 43, so the same timings, and it was 9.140, 40.765. So just like 200 milliseconds faster now. A minute and 17. So this was fast until it failed. Whoa, okay. I don't know what that would be related to. I feel like so the board might actually have better efficiency, but it also seems to not clock RAM as well. I mean, maybe I changed stick order. I have done so much of that that I can't really comment. Okay, let's try a run via the official copy Waza. Do we still have drive speed issues? Well, let's just let that run in the background and we'll see how it goes. So oh, okay, we're talking FM1. I'm like, what the fuck is that board? But yeah, that's an FM1 board. That is a UD4H, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Ooh. Not sure I've ever... Oh, the old comp links don't work anymore. Damn it. Can I maybe archive.org that? Okay, let's see if I can archive.org that. I'm really curious. And Waza is working, so there's something different now. The board was on its way out. Was like the SATA controller dying or something? I'm so confused. Okay, so we have a 2014 pull of that. That's cool. Archive.org is amazing. Is there a donate button somewhere here? I feel like I use this thing so often. Oh, here we go. I use this thing so often, I should probably donate. Okay, so you can do like a sub thing. You can even donate with crypto. Okay, cool. I'll try and remember that. That's because archive.org is it not like in general like in or Waza finished. Nice. Okay. The only thing about the Waza is I need to adjust the bash script because it sets affinity to core 1 by default, which would be great on an Intel chip, but obviously here it's first module, which is not what you want. Very cool. We're Wazering. Oh, it didn't do anything though. It doesn't look like. But let's just do a run. What's the worst that could happen? Another not exact, right? Okay, so here's our archive.org of that comp. Okay, it's slower, but it might still finish. Okay, an even earlier not exact. Okay. So 5,000 divided by 44. Okay, so let's do 113 B clock and see how that goes. So the whiles I did nothing. Yeah, let's boot 113. Apply only ratio in OS. Do an ERAM run non-WASA. Explorer kill priority affinity. What was that random shutdown? I know what's going on here. It's the old I didn't plug in the fan. Where is the CPU fan header on this even? Because it's relocated. I don't want to go into a sys fan header because that might be set to silent. I'm blind. I'm blind. You think they'd put the CPU fan header somewhere where you can find it? I don't know about you, but that's kind of what I like. That's kind of what I expect. Okay, my fucking god, what a joke. This is a comedy of errors now. I need to wait for the heatsink to cool down anyway. So this is kind of working out. Accept, support, manual, English. No. Why do they put hot links in? Okay. So here, I suspected that, but I still couldn't find it. Whoa. It's like right next to the VRM and the same color as the VRM. It's like it's trying to hide. Okay, that's one fan. May as well mount another fan. Now I understand the not exact. It was overheating. Oh, this board is shit at memory overclocking. I'm getting all these not exacts. Well, it's because it was like 80 degrees probably. Okay, steady on now. Am I missing anything? No, I'm not. Yeah, okay, let's go. Well, the good thing about this is I'm running through all the errors, systematically. I've had dead boards, disconnected cooling. Earlier today, I was dealing with a chip that had bent pins. Eventually, it'll just be nothing else that could be left that can go wrong, So it's good. This is positive. This is what they call agile, In software development, it's like, oh, the way you progress is by doing things in super small steps and wasting tons of time. So yeah, this is agile benching. Yeah, I find it crazy. Going back to archive.org, I find it crazy that there's only one archive.org. That just seems like there's so much shit on the internet. There's like 70 fucking thousand versions of TikTok and Vine, but there's only one archive.org. Just goes to show. It's like the pandemic, right? Like, we realized during the pandemic that we can all band together and fight for a common cause, which is not running out of toilet paper. But like, try to ask people to do that for an actual like useful thing. You'd never get them to agree. Okay. Almost feels like second tea time. Second peppermint tea time. See, this is the really interesting thing, is how Auto Northbridge on the other board was over 2,000. But here it's 1,700. It's the little things. Okay, V-droop. But the clock gen spits out the exact same B clock in CPU-Z somehow. Which I find funny as well. Even though they're two, I was going to say totally different boards. I mean, they're certainly based off of one another. But yeah, all right, let's do a non-WASD run. Let's just watch the first few loops come out, or the first loop at least come out, just for the sake of our sanity. Okay, now let's go back. Yeah, so motherboard manuals are great because you get PCB layouts for blind people like me. Okay, so the AMD family. I'm starting to kind of. This is starting to look familiar. Wow, this is so long ago that Extreme Systems won a comp stage. Well, sub-comp actually. So 32M for K8, K7, K6, K10, and Vision. Holy shit balls. That sounds amazing. Can I get an actual... is this permalink gonna work? No, it's not. That's problems, because I only see aggregated team scores now. I want to see individual comps, like individual subs rather. Is there a way? So is just the link broken, or yeah, old comp links don't work anymore. Okay, back to this individual. Okay, so that comp looks amazing, but let's try and bring it back to FM1. For 475 at 1.8, that does seem like a pretty bad chip. RAM pretty legit, 1056, 710.7, decent RAS and RC. Everything else doesn't get detected. So here's our like palette cleanser, 132 B clock, nice. And then max is in a similar vein, like similar clocks, just 4 seconds faster, which over the course of 14 minutes really isn't all that much, but we get the upgrade to olive theme. And hypers apparently. And the Azus. Hyper 676. For some reason, it's common that the center, the middle timing, doesn't pull into 666 on AMD. 20 RAS, classic Hyper RAS, and all cores enabled. Which on FM1, I'm kind of interesting. I didn't test it, but I'm interested to see, because you can individually clock all 4 cores. But there's certain aspects of how cores are laid out in tools and stuff that kind of hint at modules, but they're not modules. It's 4 individual cores, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, you don't have that whole controversial subject of shared floating point units between 2 cores, but you don't on AM3 either, and there you still kind of have groups of 2 cores. It's weird, but okay. 1.7, so it seems like just being really safe with the V-core chip actually seems alright for the, if CPU-Z is identifying the V-core correctly, then that is actually a pretty good chip, and if it's still alive, that would actually probably be a gold candidate on a different board. And you know, I feel like hypers would be slow, like really nice and tight PSC at like 2200 should beat this. Okay, so, and here's what was the gold for a long time, actually over 12 years, which is Froxic. And Froxic I haven't really seen in any other context, but here we see our first Gigabyte score, and Gigabyte is king on FM1, which I don't feel like any other socket is as dominated by Gigabyte as FM1 is. I think that's right in saying, like that's a fair thing to say. Ooh, old school cropped screenshot. That wouldn't be legal anymore without the start menu and taskbar and stuff. So UD4H, the top board on the socket. And the only sub 13-minute run besides mine. Nicely blasting the V core, which, you know, on 32 nanometer, that makes sense. All cores enabled, and a beautiful 2407 11.7. I didn't try this lower strap, where you go over 150 megahertz. I went with the 1866 strap at whatever B clock I need, but I wasn't able to match that RAM clock. So my efficiency is actually worse, is what I'm saying. But I didn't put much time in it. I just wanted to blast clocks and see where I got. So 512 loop 10, as opposed to, well, let's have a look at the rig picks as well. Looks like a pretty cool kind of retro thermometer. I wonder why he had 2 probes attached. Oh, ambient, 26 ambient. Okay. That's a nice, those are nice sticks actually. It's a nice little mascot. Oh, with that, what is that pot even? But what's the, so with some blue tack insulation going on there. The 2 fans, I don't know if that chipset fan is really required, but you know. Ooh, and a 3.5-inch drive, nice. Yeah, what was it? 5 minutes 12. And here we come to this week's 5 minutes 8. So I've got like 150 core on him. I'm a little bit lower on the RAM megahertz, but I do compensate for that by tightening to 610.6 from his 711.7. Yeah, all cores enabled. UD2H, which is a really good board. That's the board that still had the LN2 volts applied from like 6 years ago or something. M80X, got the T-Rex on there. And yes, rather famously, only quote unquote only a 4-pin on there. And the VRM is pretty puny as well. Okay. I'll swap over to the run and yeah, I'm running 6800K, but I'm just summarizing some of the stuff that happened since the last stream. I'll probably show, like during the next run I can show 5800K, and then once my clocks actually get somewhere halfway respectable, I can talk about that platform once I'm actually running it, you know, not Mickey Mouse clocks, but not that I'm guaranteed to ever get there considering how this stream has gone so far, but that's the plan. That's the general plan. Okay, time for another peppermint tea. I'll just throw on. It's still running, so I didn't miss anything. Out there, it's actually cold, but with the video light and the rig and everything running in here, it's not cold at all. Yeah, so here's my peppermint tea. Very underrated beverage, I feel. No caffeine in it, so it's, you know, healthy and all that. It's basically just glorified flavored water, but it's great. Highly recommended. Okay. Okay, let me pull up my notes from the previous run. So I had a 12-minute 10.828 loop 20. How am I 4 seconds faster? Is this board? Is this the tweak? Like the board is just going on the older board? Like the way to run 32M is just go on an older board? How am I 4 seconds faster? This other run was a 5G run. What am I missing here? It might just have. It may not be board efficiency as such. It may just have tighter subtimings, tighter auto timings on the timings that I haven't set yet. Okay, while that's still going, let's go back. Okay, so everyone was doubting the 4-pin. I ran 1.95 vCore through a 12.5-minute bench. No Waza. I mean, sub 1230 obviously is super possible. These things validate up to 6G, so like, is sub 12 possible? Probably not. Like, what's that? One. It's basically 1/25. It's like 4%. If you can just, what is it? No. What would 10% of 12 minutes be a minute? Yeah. Okay, so about 4%. Let's round it up and go 5%. So if you can find 5%, you can actually break 12 minutes on this platform, which would be amazing. But I'm not going for like crazy scores. Like you could imagine all kinds of scenarios, right? Like I don't know how the IMC goes here, but what if you LN2'd some PSC and did so the other guy was over 2400. I could imagine LN2 giving you 686. I mean, it can give you Cas5 as well, but I'm not sure that's a real thing on this platform. But let's say it's 6. It gives you 686 21, like 2130. Let's say 30 on the RC, 1T, and then super tight everything else. But I didn't see much scaling. That's the only thing. Okay, let's watch the final loop pop out. 85x. Okay, so the previous run was, okay, let me note down some stuff. So we've got a 9.047. So this is 117 times 43, and it's a 40.516, and a 6-minute 5.875 loop 10, and a 12-minute 6.938 loop 20, and a 14.53.297 final. So we're 5 seconds and 200 milliseconds faster. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't even remember BDCing. Wouldn't that be funny if this was a non-BDC run? I'm not saving these runs, so I don't need all the tabs. Let's just do memory here because it's non-bugged, and then CPU up here. Maybe I want the mainboard tab just because I've been swapping mainboards. That'll do. Yeah, but if auto timings or board swapping can give you this much of a boost, then it does seem to be much more sensitive to memory than like FM1, for example, right? Okay, now let's do the next multi down, which necessitates higher B clock and higher RAM clocks. Yeah. So we want 5,000 divided by 42, so 119. 119 at 42. I mean, the actual clock will be a bit higher, but you know, we can kind of account for that in some ways. So the CPU Northbridge scaling must be like absolutely nothing, because this is running lower CPU Northbridge and still faster. Okay, RAM usage looks good. Okay. Okay, anything else? Let's watch for the wait for the net. That's fine. Anything else left to say for FM1? Yeah, so I think if I didn't even core bin, right? Like, and I didn't even bin chips either. This is just my second 3870K. First one I did 6G valid on, but it seemed weak for, I don't remember, it's so many years ago, but it seemed weak for 32M. So purely from, in terms of core, it's got to be better, right? There's got to be better chips out there. And then RAM, there's obviously a lot of unexploited sort of potential. But yeah, I only did this because we talked a lot on the overclocking show about FM1. So, and I had some spare LN2 with not that much TC stuff to dig into immediately. So I decided to run this, and then I just had a LN2 delivery scheduled for pretty soon. I had some LN2 to get rid of because my the cost of delivery is the same whether the dewars are totally full or well, I mean, I wouldn't get a delivery if the dewars were totally full, but if there's something left in the dewars, I don't like get a refund for not having a full fill. So I decided to let's show these pictures as they're relevant now. I decided to, like, basically the morning of the fill, actually, I decided to get all my thermoses out and fill them all, and actually full pot the rig while the delivery guy was here to get as much stuff out of the last dewar that was still cold as possible before it was due to get filled. These, are they called Stanleys? I don't want to go to a shopping site now. It'll probably like show you my name and stuff, which I don't want. But these big 1.5 liter ones are amazing. I have two for the purposes of 3D, which I don't really use them for all that much, but I feel like if I got another one, then I could, you know, siphon off even more LN2 into thermoses just before delivery. But yeah, this was my previous run. So 10 minute 49 was my previous run in January 2020, before we knew anything about COVID, on the Wi-Fi board, which is the most efficient board and the best board for 32M, but you know, no postcode display and no buttons, which is limiting. But it is a 2 dimmer, which is great. Oh, I had the SS set up. Interesting. And I was doing PSC, but I don't feel like I sort of knew how to do low and tight PSC yet. So 8.11.8 is super loose for 2400. 128, 129 B clock. Yeah, the clock gen runs out at 141, I think, but I mean, top multi 63, right? So what's that? That's a lot. 141 times 63. That'll get you 8.9 gigahertz. I think that's enough, even for valids. And I decided to run it 1 core per module. I don't think that's the way to go for 32M. I think you kind of lose efficiency there. So, and the clocks weren't great. Why did I run it that way, or why do I think you lose efficiency? Yes, you do lose efficiency, right? So, but this, yeah, I don't remember what frame of mind I was in 4 years ago when I was doing this. I don't actually even know why I was benching Trinity at the time. I think I was going for AG because there's never been an AG on Trinity, and just missed, well, not just missed out by 200 megahertz. Is this a 2020? You thought I have a working SS, yeah. So this is from the same session apparently. So I must, and I was running cold RAM on the Wi-Fi board. Really? Oh no, this is on a crossblade. I don't remember any of this. This is so vague in my memory. But yeah, that was 32M, and so even fewer cold. I mean, FM1 has fewer cold scores than this, but not a lot of competition here compared to Richland, which was like in, I think, at least 2 comp stages. Here, you know, you have Frogstick even. You have a smattering of results, but quite a number of them don't have bulldozer conditioner. So you see here, this is probably a BDC run, which is butting up against a non-BDC run, which is pretty cruel on poor XA. So yeah, and I sort of wonder why everyone's so lowly clocked. Like, I know that like Trinity is pretty poor clocking wise compared to Richland. Like Richland, the top score is at 7.6, 7.7, but it's not that much worse clocking. Like here we have a Windows 7 run at 6.6. I don't know what that's all about, and that's on a good board. And then like this weird like combination between hyper RAM clocks and then like PSC timings. It's weird. Yeah, I don't get it. So that's even off. So here's our friend of the stream who's in the chat. Oh, on a crossblade. .3, also 1 core per module, or is this a single module enabled with your SuperPi thread on the 2nd core of the module? Raw 2 core, okay. Let's just quickly check in with the actual run we're doing here. So that was 119 times 42, which gave us a 9.031 4375. So quicker loops and a 6 minute 4.140. Okay, so scaling nicely. That's already over 1.7 seconds faster. Okay, okay, so that's the scatter bench. So now, and even off we already looked at. So here's, so I had a what was it, a 1047, which was like the only proper score. Yeah, 1049. And then Tech Tested came in and challenged me with a pretty decent score. The one thing of note, there's 2 things of note. So there's didn't have PSC, I don't think, so had to struggle with BBSC, which is ended up being run at 898, which is just, yeah, it's not optimal. Like, you want to, if you have an IMC that'll do high RAM clocks, maybe and like SAMI, then maybe you do like 91111 on SAMIs at like 2600 or something. And if it does less than that, then you're in the 711.7, 610.6, or maybe even 696 PSC territory. So good encore, which I don't think the scaling is great on. The RAM seemed to sort of work out in the end. But limited to 1.85 V-core on the Extreme 6. Which begs the question of, okay, so 7G flat gives you a 1050-45, which was better than my 1 core per module. So here we've got all cores enabled and affinity, which he shows. I assume second module, but let's just confirm. Oh, I thought he showed the he doesn't show the P states. Okay. So this is better efficiency than my second, because my second score was actually 80 megahertz faster. Yeah, 90 even, about 90. Yeah, about 90 megahertz faster, but he beat that by 4 seconds. So a lot wrong with that. But now, still not amazing efficiency, but broke the 10 minutes 30, which is nice. First time that's happened on this platform. By the way, this board was kind of like factory new with a little Taiwanese little tag still on it. And you always got to, when you're benching Trinity, you always have to attach Trinity as a rig pick. It's mandatory. So 10 minutes 27, so about 20 seconds faster, but with 300 megahertz more. I kind of ran out of LN2. The amount of LN2 you saw there is what I used for this bench, and I didn't really feel like bringing in a newly refilled Dewar to continue the session. But certainly a lot of room to improve. It's a lot tougher with the other platform being right around 12 minutes 31. There I can see a 30-second improvement. This score is, let's say, more max, but still not anywhere close to max. And seeing a 30-second improvement when it's a 10-minute 30 run, it's a lot harder to see that than a 12-minute 30 run. So here I would say the max, the fully maxed out would be like 10:15 or maybe just under 10:10, like 10:09 point something. Saying that, I don't actually know how big of a thing Waza is on here. Maybe you get a 7-second Waza and then you're laughing. Then you're under the 10 minutes. I mean, there's no like IPC reasons or anything why this wouldn't clock for clock the same as Richland, and Richland at 7.7 does under 10 minutes, but you'd struggle to find a 7.7 32M chip here on this platform. So yeah, that's the last thing that I benched. So kind of going in chronological order. This board is already half dead now. Which, oh, I got a comment. That's nice. And now we'll finally go for what Zeus has been asking for. Which is the processor we're currently benching. And I do have a run, and it is sub 10 minutes. It's not first, but it's, and here you can really tell that there's, I mean, this is not as competitive as a lot of Intel chips, but you see a good number of LN2 scores. Certainly anything like infrared will be super, like that's super efficient for 7. Like there you can see the difference in efficiency between me. Like I'm basically at the same clocks on Trinity, but I'm 17 seconds slower. So that's a nice and efficient run. But then once you get into like the 7.5, 7.6, 7.7, it's also a challenge of even having a chip as good as that. I'm less than 3 seconds behind first. Maybe just a rerun of this chip would do. There's a lot that I would do different now. When was this? 2022. COVID benching, eh? So you can already tell from 577, okay, so no Waza. Looks like a decent IMC actually, but yeah, I don't think this blasting of CPU Northbridge did as much as I thought it did. If it helped CPU core, I'd probably drop that down to 3.3, 3.5. And yes, 2600 Sammys. Like, I just feel like I don't know. My PSC probably wouldn't be able to do 7.11.7 at those clocks, but oh yeah, let's watch the last score come out here. So, or loop 12 time is a second, 1.4 seconds faster. And our final time is, when's it gonna pop out? Oh, sub 1450, which is nice because I started out with a run that was barely under 15 minutes, so progress. So that is that's the final there popped nicely because that's a 4 second and 220 millisecond improvement. Okay, let's note it down. Let's also grab a quick screeny. So that's 14 minutes, 49.xxx, right? No, I didn't forget BDC. BDC makes a much bigger difference than that. It's not BDC. Who knew two peppermint teas is what gets you going? My throat doesn't feel half as bad as it felt at the start of the stream, which is a surprise because I thought it would just get worse from all the talking, but apparently it's like almost the opposite. Okay, let's just continue our merry journey here. 5,000 divided by 41 multi. 122. Let's try that. Ooh, that's quite okay. Let's try 121. Is closer to the 5,000 target. Oh, because the multis are so high, I can't really like hone in on 5,000. So I'm gonna be like 20 megahertz high, and I can't really do anything about it. But that's fine. Maybe the next, it kind of evens out, right? Like maybe the 40 times 124 or whatever is going to be closer to the target. Okay. Ooh, we're getting consistent 109s now. How nice is that? Oh, just as I say that. Oh, you killed a GT740. That's a shame. Yay, we broke the 9 seconds. Okay. Yeah, so a lot more will have to go into this score than FM1 or FM2 Trinity. I'm switching memory ICs. I'm not as confident that I even have a chip that does the clocks that I need. There's a lot of moving parts. And actually now So here's the interesting discussion, right? Like, when would you consider, like, this is gonna be hard, but if I took Richland and Carrizo, which I'll get to later, which is a FM2 plus, would that be enough to claim that I have every FM platform 32M platform record? Or would I also have to take the record for Kaveri and Godavari? And those are probably not that hard to get, but then you could continue the thought exercise and say, hey, what about all APU 32Ms? So that would mean AM1 as well. AM1, FM1, FM2 Trinity, FM2 Ridgeland, FM2 plus Kaveri, FM2 plus Godavari, FM2 plus Carrizo. And then you're talking 2400G, 3400G. Do you consider fourth gen its own generation? Like, would I have to do 4750G or whatever it's called? Fifth gen I'd have to do 5700G. But then there's APUs on DDR4 as well, right? Like, so I'd have to do, I mean, I have an 8500G, so I could do, I mean, the platform record probably would be really easy to get, but I could do an 8500G 32M. But I'll just keep on going. There'll probably be a second gen of APUs. Yeah, Kaveri is different. But then, like, do I go all the refreshes as well? Godavari is just a refresh of Kaveri. And actually, you know, at what point is it a refresh? Like, is Richland a refresh of Trinity? Probably not. Bristol Region by really want pain, yeah. Okay, so let's I'm just interested. Let's look at all FM 2 plus 32Ms and see at what point do we pass all the Carrizos. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? Okay, so here's all the Carrizos. So this would be the Kaveri. Oh, this is Carrizo as well. Okay, never mind. This is a Kaveri though, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the Kaveri 32M record, as far as I can tell. Oh, this is actually a lot tougher than I thought. 5.6 good efficiency PSC on LN2 minus 90. Yeah, this is actually tough. The good old days. Yeah, I just didn't know that Ben had a Kaveri up. What about Godavari though? So this? Oh, he has a Godavari as well. This is like gonna be a lifelong record, a lifelong project. It's not massive clocks though. Oh no, 5.4. 5.4 is a lot. Yeah. Dice. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't realize that was gonna be a thing. Okay, now let's look at something easier. What's the 2400G 32M record? Someone's done 5.4. That's respectable. Ale Slammer. 2400G is Zen. Is it Zen or Zen Plus? I never remember. 14 nanometers, so that is Zen. I thought it was Zen. So on Zen, to do 4.5 on chiller, that's kind of getting up there. I thought the IMCs were okay as long as you disable the iGPU, which you probably would want to do for cold behavior anyway, for better cold behavior. Not full pod. Well, who knows? Maybe there's full pod chips out there. So 1733 C12 seems loose. Okay, not the easiest thing in the world. I thought it was going to be easier, but what about the 3400G, 32M record? Naganan, he's a very good AM3 bencher. So I'm kind of already scared to look at it now. What board is that? So that's a Gigabyte, but I don't immediately recognize it. A Pro AX. Can't say I've ever heard of that. So 4.4 on Zen Plus. That's starting to get like pretty mid. Ooh, 1932 C14 on an APU. Okay, this is getting to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, this is face roll territory. 4750G, is there even a 32M subbed? So this is Zen. They skipped Zen 2, didn't they? For APUs, or am I totally hallucinating there? So good old Ale Slammer. I thought it was a Zen 3. Going off of just my memory. Yeah, 7nm Zen 3, isn't it? We're in War. Oh no, they locked it down again. Okay, AMD would probably have the info as well. Oh, it is Zen 2. Yeah, no, yeah. Makes sense because they didn't go to 5nm until AM5. But then the 5700G is Zen 3, right? Okay. In any case, seems achievable. Yeah, but I don't have a chip, so it's all theoretical. 515 with DDR5. That's a big issue actually. I can probably muster up some sort of chips for Kaveri and Godavari, but I don't really feel like spending money on the AM4 APUs. Maybe I could settle in for just the top result for the socket. So I'd have the FM1 top result. If I can get Carrizo, then I'd have the FM2 socket. I know it's FM2 plus, but in terms of physical socket, top result. And then I just need a 5700G gold and whatever on AM5. Do I want to look at the AM5 scores? There wouldn't be many up. So I'm just going to look at both APUs and non-APUs together. Godavari sold it. Oh, Master Flopper did a 7G. It's kind of nice. I'd love to see under four minutes on AMD actually. That would be kind of nice. 7 to cast 28. Okay, but we want to look at the APUs, so here we are. Oh, has anyone even bothered? I mean, they have a great IMC. I don't know why people wouldn't just mess around on 32M a little bit on them. Try and get like a 9000 RAM 32M pass or something. But apparently it's not been a priority. Okay, here we go. There's something here. Okay. Is this the top? Oh no. The top is this. 6.1. Ooh, a DICE APU score on AM5. That is surprising. On the infamous ASRock board. But of course, sync RAM at CAS 26. Makes sense. Okay. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock here. As much as I haven't gotten anywhere with this, the first 1.5 hours were spent diagnosing, which happens sometimes. But so our loop 10 is a 6-minute 1, and the last one was a 6-minute 4. Loop 20 has broken the 12 minutes for the first time. Previously it was 12 minutes 3, now it's an 11:58. 6. What is it? 6:41. Here, let's watch this finish. Yeah, okay, so that would be a very, very long project if I took that on. Like most things. Nothing died yet. Well, ironically, all the dying happened on a different board. I think your theory might be correct that chip killer board and chip killer board killer chip just cancel each other out, and then everything just lives forever. Yeah, we can do it. Just two more loops. I wonder what we're gonna get here. So it'll be excuse me, sub 14 minutes 45 is my prediction. So what's the loop length currently? About 35 seconds. Ooh. Seems to alternate a lot. Okay, I can't make any predictions anymore. Just give me the result, rig. I'm ready for it. Oh yeah, I said sub 14:45 and it did end up being sub 14:45. Which is no surprise with the extra clock. I'll start another run. Cheers, thanks for dropping by. Enjoy your dinner. Okay. So now aiming for 5,000 again. So 125. A flat 125. I mean, not a fan of this clock drift below 5,000, but if I go one up, because it's 40, I'd actually be at a similar clock to what I just had. But that didn't work. Okay, I'll settle for 125 then. Previous comment on the stream. What was my best Ivy score? Ivy 32M, you mean? Yeah, okay, let's save that. And then try this. I think I've done some sort of look-like challenge on a 3570K. I don't have good chips, so all out I don't have anything good, but yeah, see, I have a look-like challenge. I mean, it's probably nothing amazing, but from how long ago is this? This is like, this feels like it's one building, like one house ago. 2020 is not too bad. So let's see. 1330 or so, 8128, 1T, PSC. $24 though, what's that about? I didn't think 4 had to go that loose on PSC. Maybe it does. 6 minutes 20. Okay, so that did end up posting. Let's see if it'll do 126 now. Oh, okay. Oh, it's those weird RAM straps, right? Like you can't pass 125 in OS and you can't pass 150 in OS, something like that. Okay, I'll just stick to 125. BDC. Yeah, well, I never got there. As it's about to tick over 10 o'clock at night. Skip disk checking. Yeah. Boom, 125. Ratio 40. How do I end up with 2 super pies? Is it like, do they die quietly? Like, I don't get it. Now let's watch the initial come out. 9 flat. Okay. Well, we're more interested in a pass than a better score than previously, considering we're 40 megahertz down. Okay, let's maybe watch for the second, and actually I just want to pass. I think I'm just gonna let it run through. It'll be slower, but just checking for memory and all that. 40 point. It's not slow by much. No, yeah, I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna try to post above 125, so I can then run above 125. Or 6. What about C6? That'll be an interesting experiment. Yeah, let's do that. C6, 24 RAS. Actually, keep that on auto. Oh, I tighten RC instead of RAS. Okay, 6, 10, 6. There we go. Okay, let's do this. This should it'll be interesting to see pass. Okay, let's 2 ERAM it and then open. Actually, BDC first, then open, then CPZ, then easy tune. Okay. The super. I didn't switch views. Okay. Anyway, all I did was apply clocks. Sub 9 is making me happy. Okay, so this is now 125 times 40 at 711.7. Switch down to 610.6. Our previous init was an 8953. Now we have an 8984. And we've got a 4172. So about 80 milliseconds behind. Yeah, so I did at some point do a KB low clock. Let's see how it compares. I thought it was the best KEI5 low clock challenge, but probably that's just because not a lot of people ran it. Socket LGA 1155 under let's say 5010. Wow, this platform's so old. We have some Bob and Z scores. Oh, all out. Cold RAM as well. Not all that successful, it seems like, though. 2600, 610.6. Oh, well. Yeah, I did get the RAS to come in. Yeah, actually, it's not terrible. There we go. It's still the top i5. What do you think of that? Nice. I wonder if that chip's even still alive. We have our first not exact. What a fitting end to this stream. So many runs without any problems, and now not exact on loop 3. But also not surprising. Okay, that'll do it. I don't know how this stream ended up closer to 3 hours than 2 hours. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna give my vocal cords a rest now. But yeah, it's been fun. I'll keep working on this, and then obviously there'll be, I think the next stream might be the Team Cup big dogpile stream. So looking forward to that. Good night.